Welcome back to Half Moon's Picks, Week 6 of the NFL. I'm Steve, and I'm going to give you my predictions on what's going to happen this week. But first, let's wrap up what happened last week. Detroit Lions lost to the Buffalo Bills. I've heard it 100 times. 100 people say, "Oh, Buffalo won." No, they did not win. Detroit gave them this game. Simple as that. If you go down the field, try for a long field goal, or even a medium, it's like 40-yard field goals, and miss, you're giving Buffalo a great field advantage. Well, Detroit missed 3 field goals, especially at the end of the game, where all they had to do is kick the last-minute field goal. They're already on the 50, just get 10 yards, and they kicked the long 50-some-yard field goal to win the game. Detroit lost this game. Buffalo did not win it. And today, Detroit signed Matt Prater from the Denver Broncos, and you know, he had a DUI, some substance abuse. You know, you see him with the tattoos on his arm, and but he's a real good kicker. So you gotta weigh the pros with the con, and so we got Bad Boy as a kicker, and hopefully he'll win us some games. I want to run down a couple of games. There's some real good games this week before I get started with my picks. We're going Thursday night game, Indianapolis and Houston. I come up with this formula where if a team gets blown out, they play twice as good the following week. And if a team who blows out the other team plays half as good as the following week. Give you an example. Tampa Bay. Well, Tampa Bay, you know, they got blown out, and they played twice as good, beat Pittsburgh. Jacksonville got blown out by Indianapolis, played twice as good, and stayed in the whole game with Pittsburgh, and they almost actually covered that game, but threw a pick 6 at the end of the game. Let's see, try things. So we're going to test my theory this week. There's several examples I can bring, but we'll get on with this kind of a short video. It's getting kind of late. So Indianapolis at Houston. Okay, Indianapolis won last week, and Houston lost last week. So Houston didn't get blown out, so this would be a moderate game. So I don't expect a blowout, but you never know. Thursday games, every team blowout, so most likely I'll bet on Indianapolis just in case it is a blowout. And let's see, Denver at the Jets. Jets got blown out of the water. I expect them to play twice as well against Denver, but Denver's so powerful, and I don't know if Jets giving up for the season or not. I'm definitely going to take the Denver on that one. Jacksonville at Tennessee. 2 teams at the bottom of the barrel, and it's a 6-point spread. You know, Jacksonville looked pretty good, but you know, I already got burned on Jacksonville earlier. But you know, I might put a couple dollars on that 6 points. I know they play Tennessee pretty well. Let's see, Detroit at Minnesota. I expect a close game on this one. A lot of injuries on both sides. Both teams not playing to full potential. Might get kind of ugly and sloppy. Detroit's on their 4th string running back. George Wynn, and he actually played pretty good. Like I said, Buffalo, you know, they played 2-man D, prevent most of the game. So Wynn, you know, they weren't expecting him to run well. So you know, he had a pretty good game. And Matthew Stafford, you know, Mr. Checkdown. But you know, 2 points. If it goes to 3, I'd, you know, might bet on Minnesota. Maybe. But let's see what other games. Carolina at Cincinnati. Cincinnati got blown out. Here we go, another example. I expect them to play twice as good, and they're at home. That's a 7-point spread. Can they blow them out? Can they blow Carolina out? This will prove it. So I might bet Cincinnati on that one. New England at Buffalo. Both those teams won. They play each other fairly well. It's only a 3-point spread. Probably going with New England. They've been on a roll. They won last week, but they're going to play half as good. So Buffalo might stay in that game. Tough game. Might stay away from that one. Baltimore at Tampa Bay. Both teams lost on this one. Tampa Bay at home after, get their second, Glennon's in, second stringer. He's been playing well these last two games. So, Tampa Bay, I see that one. It might happen. I see Dallas at Seattle. Last year, I think I picked Dallas. Or no, it's 2 years ago. I picked Dallas and they just got smoked. So I might see a shellacking there. Seattle might just, come out and blow the Dallas away. I see Washington at Arizona. Both teams lost here. Washington played twice as well. Kept up with Seattle that whole game. So, they played pretty well. I mean, it looked like Smear the Queer against Seattle. But Arizona's tough. That's going to be a tough game, but Arizona looks like to be the favorite. And we got Giants at Philadelphia. Both teams won. Giants on a small increase and Philadelphia a small decrease. It's a 2.5 point spread. It's hard to say who I'm going to pick on that one. Probably the home team in Philadelphia. Monday night game, we got San Francisco at St. Louis. San Francisco won last week and St. Louis lost. St. Louis defense looks good. Might be a good upset there at 3.5 points. All right, let's get started, and thanks again for coming. Alright, my upset pick of the week, I'm picking Pittsburgh plus 2 points. I picked both Pittsburgh and Cleveland last week to win, and both those are my two games I did win last week. Pittsburgh, this is going to be a close game. Pittsburgh usually owns Cleveland, whether it's at Cleveland or in Pittsburgh. It's either a big butt kicking or a close game. But with the 2 points, and Pittsburgh, the underdog, I'm going with Pittsburgh. I think Roethlisberger keep this game alive. The Browns look halfway decent in the second half of the game. Looks like they come on strong. If Pittsburgh can just hold them down and keep this close, I'll take that 2 points and take it to the bank. My third pick of the week, I got Chicago at Atlanta. Atlanta is favored by 3 points. Chicago, both these two teams lost the last two games. They've not been looking good. I'm picking Atlanta. They're strong at home. Chicago's secondary is pretty banged up. And I think Atlanta's just got too strong of a pass offense. I think they owned most of the game against the Giants last week and just couldn't put that nail on it. I know they played away, but they're a different team at home. So go with Atlanta -3. My number 2 pick of the week, I got Green Bay at Miami. Green Bay's favored by 3.5 points. Aaron Rodgers in a row the last 2 games. Outscoring opponents is like 80-something to 30. It's just unreal numbers. Aaron Rodgers has relaxed, and 2 games later, he's just blowing out the opposition. Miami, they look good in London. Of course, anybody would look good against the Oakland Raiders. They had last week off. They're coming off a bye. So they're going to be well rested. But I think Aaron Rodgers is come in there and just go into town and drink a margarita on the Miami beach. So take Green Bay -3.5. All right, and my number 1 pick of the week, I got San Diego at Oakland. I got burned on this game last year. San Diego kind of tough to win at Oakland for whatever reason the last couple of years. But Oakland, is a different team this year. They're not the same players. They got a whole new roster and they look horrible. They got a new coach, got a new scheme, new game plan. They only had 2 weeks to learn the playbook. I think San Diego, they're looking dang good. So -7 plus, they're semi close to home. Take San Diego -7 to beat the Raiders. Well, that wraps up another week. There's my standings. I'm doing pretty good in my upsets, believe it or not. You think, hey, usually upsets are supposed to be a lower percentage, but that's the way the season's been rolling. I want you to come back next week. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, pass this on to your friends, let them know what you think. And go to geoknows.com. They have a standings of all our prognosticators. I think I've been second, third, somewhere around there out of all the prognosticators. Pretty proud of doing that. Hopefully I'll catch up to Geo. He's doing great, even though he's a Minnesota fan. So don't knock that against him. I'll play you. My team's playing your team this week, and it should be a good game. So one of us is going to be talking smack at the end of the game, I'm sure. All right, well, thanks for coming, and I'll see you next week. Peace. Is it safe to come out yet?